Hill in full flow to my left. Very reminiscent of the Norway trip. So Stewart, the town we just left and where we stayed last night, in fact the last 2 nights, has a population, would you believe, of 495 people at the last census, so not an awful lot of people there. Whereas Smithers, where we're heading to today, there's a population of around 5,300. And to put that into context, I looked it up, that's about half of what, say, Norwich has. Norwich has a population, Norwich in England has a population of about 11,000, so it's like half of Norwich. So much more going on there at Smithers than at Stewart. At least hope so, because there was very limited stuff going on at Stewart. There was really only the one restaurant plus a breakfast place, but it was enough for what we needed. But nonetheless, fascinating place to stay, very full of character as you saw, and did have that feeling of being, you know, in the back of beyond a frontier town. I'm anticipating Smithers to not be quite like that, but I think in fact Smithers is more of an alpine place, so it might have more of a sort of a ski feel about it, don't know, but we'll see later on today. I am loving this ride. This road is just absolutely awesome, the true meaning of the word. You can't see it because I haven't got the forward facing camera on at the moment, but I've got a big grin on my face the whole time. Loving it. First bit of roadworks for the day. No escaping it, the world over. Doesn't matter where you are, there's always roadworks to keep you company. More overlanders, no doubt. Quite a few of those in Stewart. People travelling all sorts of places, including meeting a couple of bikers that are on their own, riding up from New Mexico all the way up to Anchorage. That's quite a ride. And they didn't have a sport vehicle, so no problem there. Although they told me they were in a complete panic the whole time about when they were next going to get fuel, whether they were going to manage to stay anywhere that night. We don't have any of that worry, of course. I know, we're doing this the namby-pamby way, but it works for me. All the fun with none of the fear. It's a pretty good little marketing slogan, isn't it? I like that. Serious looking RV here, towing their car. Right. Let's take him out. Nice vehicle. Bet that sucks through some fuel though. Just to my right is Metziadin Lake. Can you see that through there? I hope you can. It's absolutely still at the moment and the reflections on it are incredible. Unfortunately there doesn't seem to be a pull off that we can get a view of it, but it is absolutely stunning through there. Not a ripple on the lake, it looks awesome. Sorry, there's that word again, I must stop using that, but that is a belter. Okay, bit of excitement brewing on the bike now, because in half a mile we've got one of 3 turns today. I think there are 3, so we don't want to miss this one. 0.3 of a mile to go. The Metziadin Lake turn. Coming right up, this looks like it. Towards Prince George, which we are visiting in a few days' time. So more about that near the time. Maybe we'll get more views of the lake down here, I don't know. Oh, caught up with a couple of bikes. I wonder if they're from our crew. There were about 5 bikes left when we left, so a few had set off earlier. We set off exactly at 9 o'clock. But you can of course set off when you like, that's the beauty of these tours. And talking of routes, by the way, I meant to mention earlier in the tour that often people ask me for details of the route, or have I got a GPS route and all the GPX files and all that I can share. Well, don't ask that, because the answer is no. Of course this tour is put together by Motorrad Tours and it's their intellectual property, the actual route itself, and they specifically asked me not to share the route. Of course it's not hard to work out because I've told you exactly where we've been, so you can work it out for yourself, but please don't ask me for the GPX files because I'm afraid the answer will be no. Sorry about that. Turns out these guys in front aren't part of our team. They've got BC number plates, so they're locals. Right, so we're off, and it's one of these follow the pilot car jobs, so let's hope it's not going to be like those ones we saw earlier where they were all gravel and slippy slidey, although it is a little bit drier here and further on up the road. Looks pretty tarmacky to me. So, looks like that's the end of our road work, so we got away with that. No drama whatsoever. I guess they have these pilot cars because the roadworks are so long, perhaps they haven't got traffic lights that work over that distance, so I assume that's why they have the pilot cars. That's my theory anyway. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments below. Okay, wind forward 10 miles or so, and the views and the terrain are starting to change again. Less dramatic hills at this point, and just more of a feeling of space again. We will be seeing a lot more dramatic hills again on this trip. We're going to be heading down to the Canadian Rockies towards Jasper in a few days, and it is absolutely spectacular down there, so I cannot wait for that. Sign will say wildlife corridor, drive with care. So moose and bear along here. We'll keep our eyes skinned. Right, quick progress update for you. As you can see, the sun is now shining. It's a beautiful day. It's 73 degrees Fahrenheit according to the thermometer. Beautiful scenery up ahead. We're just in the foothills now. The Rocky Mountains are starting to build, and they'll get bigger and bigger and more spectacular as the days go on. We've got about 10 miles to run now to our first fuel stop, and also our brunch stop, we're going to call it. We didn't have breakfast today, so we're going to have a bit of food at this next stop, refuel, and then we've only got about another 80 miles to do until our final destination today. Although there are a few stops off on the way on that second leg of some things to look around, so more about them as we get there. Next though, let's find fuel and lunch. Alright, excitement building once again on the bike as we're coming up to our second turn off of the day. Half a mile. Here we are. Come on through Kitwanga, okay? Kitwanga welcomes you. Cool. Amazing backdrop of the mountains. Ah, is that the fuel? That's not looking very good if it is. 0.4 is a store. Well, we failed to find the fuel or the cafe, which may be closed now perhaps, but we did see a general store, so we're going to see if we can get something to eat there, maybe a coffee, which I think was here. Let's see what we can find in here then. Alright, so it turns out the general store were very friendly, and they told us that the fuel station is actually about a mile further on up here on the main highway, so we're hoping we can get topped up and get a coffee there as well, so we'll go and check that out. Meantime, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. It was grim when we got up, as you saw back in Stewart, but look at it now, absolutely cracking day. This is more like you expect August to be. Great view of that mountain now. Still some snow up there. Okay, so fuel we think is there, and totem poles here. We'll check these out, then we'll go and get the fuel. Great fun. Not anyone from our group, but some other bikers here. We'll park our bikes up there, or our bike and take a pic. So, quick snap at the totem poles while our friends here have a little nature break. Lovely job, well done. Those guys, they're not friends of ours, I hasten to add. Certainly not on our tour. No one on a Motorrad tour would do that sort of thing. Right, let's get out of here and get some fuel. Alright, might be third time lucky for the fuel, which I think is just over the bridge. 4 bikes coming in for some totem pole action. Hello, hello. Half a mile team. Certainly a beautiful spot here. Check out this river. hopefully some fuel and coffee to be had as well. Yay. More of our crew here already. Diesel. This looks like the right stuff. So, all filled up. Had a spot of lunch in this fuel station. The LT was very nice, but the service was a little bit to be desired. Gal's just chatting up some Harley riders, and then we'll be on our way. So we've made it to what we think is historic Hazelton. There's a little sign here that talks about basically wandering through here and seeing all sorts of Indian totem poles, that sort of thing, or indigenous people, First Nation people, whatever the PC term is. But before we get there, we're just having a bit of a peach stop, actually, a bit of fruit. That'd be nice. One of the things we have found in the US and Canada, and we found this before, is that actually eating things like fruit is quite difficult. We've eaten, I think, for the last 3 meals we've had, and we skipped breakfast, we've had chips, haven't we, with our food, so quite tricky, that one, but that's just the way it is.
Peaches courtesy of Fiona.
But the peaches are good, aren't they? Right, we're going to have a wander through here, check out some more totem poles, no doubt. So one of the issues we've yet to get around on these bike tours is that whenever you come somewhere like this, a little stop off to have a look around, you have to carry all your kit. So I mean, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit here now. It is absolutely cooking. Mrs. Flyer has taken the sensible precaution of putting a t-shirt on. Well done her. But we do have to carry our kit. I mean, this helmet plus the camera with all my footage in it and the intercom, that's 2 grams worth of kit there, so we can't just leave that on the bike. Anyway, if you've got an answer to that one, let us know, and don't say buy a trailer for the Goldwing, all right? We can see a couple of our compatriots coming in here. It's Fiona and Jim. We've just eaten the peaches, which were very nice. Oh, team, we just ate your peaches again, very nice. So, what's the historic village got to offer us? Anything good?
Fiona, over you.
Totem poles.
Well, totem poles and public restrooms.
Perfect. What more do you need?
What more do you need?
Is there any ice cream?
Not that we saw, afraid not. You missed that.
Yeah, the last stop. Yeah. Oh, well. Right, so turns out we were right. There are going to be more totem poles. Here's one that actually does look quite like Carol.
Me on a grumpy day, which is most days. Can you believe I get grumpy?
I can't believe there's no ice cream here. What a point. Outrageous. Maybe they're just saying that to make us upset. Could be. That's the way they operate, isn't it? All right, so we seem to have arrived at the heart of historic Hazelton, and this is what it consists of.
Quite incredible, really.
So, top notch, if you're into your totem poles, this is the place to come. But if you're kind of indifferent, and I have to admit I am slightly, then maybe not bother.
You've got no
I'm just being honest.
feeling or
I'm just being
culture.
honest.
They're quite incredible.
Yeah. Seen one totem pole, seen them all. Right, so we're heading our way back from Hazelton back to the highway, which means we've got to go back over the slightly frightening bridge. So let's see how that goes again. Alright, if memory serves me correctly, we're just coming up to Scary Bridge territory. So this time, let's see if Mrs. Fly dare look off the side. What are we doing? Is it clear for us? Not quite. Now we're good. And here we go again, take 2. Oh my word, it's a long way down. I ain't looking down there again. Holy crap. No. That is not nice. Yikes. Look straight ahead. What fun. Right, that's the last time I'll be going over that in my life, thank goodness. There's a little viewpoint of the bridge just here. Let's go and have a look. Go and see if we can get a snap. So we just caught a glimpse of a viewpoint as we came along there, so we thought we'd just come and see if we can get a quick snap. It's too hot to get derobed to do this, so let's have a quick look here and see if there's a photograph to be had. Yes, there is. I think. Cool. Yep, a couple of cool pics there. Whew, cooking. Right, back onto that bike. And we're back on the highway, and this is Hazelton now, as it were. Actually, probably would have been a better lunch stop for us, but never mind. Next time we come through, we'll stop at Hazelton for lunch and fuel. The roadworks people are so friendly here. Let's see if she gives us a little wave. Hi. No, she didn't, but she gave us a nod. She wasn't miserable. That was good. To be fair, at home, if we did have a stop-go board, you'd never see a woman on it, or very, very rare. I wonder why that is. Anyway, one of those other little quirks of culture. Check out this mountain range. Again, all these mountains, I'm assuming, are just the starts of the foothills of the Rockies. By the time we get another 400 or 500 miles south, we'll be into the spectacular stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. And as Mrs. Fly rightly says in my ear, this is spectacular. It is, compared to what we used to. Impressive engines on the back of this boat on this trailer front. Two 4.2 litre V6 outboards, and he's got another little outboard on the right there, which I assume he just uses for manoeuvring for fishing or something. I don't know. There's 9.9 on it. I wonder if that's 9.9. I don't know. Could it be a 1 litre engine? Who knows? Anyway, all looks very impressive. Although I dare say the servicing costs aren't. Okay, so we're just in the environs of Smithers now. Check out that lakes and mountain type view there. Absolutely cracking. I think it's going to feel like we've returned to civilization a little bit here after a few days of, you know, being in the wilderness in the mountains and staying at pretty small places. I think this is going to be a nice little stop for the night. I hope so anyway. Smithers, a town for all seasons. Excellent. Well, oh, there's a Dairy Queen. That's good. Ice cream available. This is looking somewhat civilised as I expected. Great news. Right, we're going to turn right up here. We shall find our home for the next day or two. Well, next day anyway. Oh yes, this is more like it. Alrighty, now looking for our hotel, which is over there somewhere. I'll go right. Sat-nav has suddenly decided it's not going to tell us where to go, but we did see it as we came through here. It's here somewhere. That looks like it. This place here, Carol, do you reckon? Here we are, the sun's shining, home sweet home. Oh, that's right, it's on a slope we can reverse out. Fabulous, welcome. Okay, so welcome to Smithers and the aptly named Sunshine Inn, because it is flipping sunny here. It's absolutely gorgeous actually. There's a bit of civilization here, look. Amazing view of the mountains over there. Only slight downer is they don't actually have a room for me and Carol. They've got rooms for everybody else, but so I'm having to do a little bit of bargaining. So I'm letting Carol deal with that, and well, if you see me next in a room, it worked. Okay, success, we are in our room. Well, technically it's Alf's room, we've blagged it, but anyway, here we go. Check it out. Looks alright, doesn't it?
It's very nice.
Couple of beds, nice and clean.
Yeah, nice and cool.
Coffee facilities.
Yeah.
And, you know, usual sort of US bathroom.
And the lady on reception was very helpful.
Indeed. Turns out there was a room booked for somebody whose name we didn't recognise, so we've given that to Alf, and we've had Alf's, and Alf's okay with that, so it's all good. We're happy. Right, we need to, well, move in, because look at the state of it in here. Bit of tidying up, I think, Mrs. Fly. Outrageous. Don't keep a dog and bark yourself. Oh, no, I might be in trouble. Oh. Don't worry, folks, I survived that bout of domestic abuse. I forgot to tell you, you may know if you're a regular viewer of the channel, I'm a bit of a fan of biscuits, and my favourite biscuit in the whole world is something called faux durable, which I think is French. They're actually Canadian biscuits. They're shaped like a little maple leaf, and they taste of maple syrup. They're absolutely beautiful, but you can't get them at home. I've tried mail and order them and all sorts, so I have to rely on people coming back from Canada to get them for me. Well, we're in Canada now, not the US as I implied earlier when I said US bathroom. Of course, it's a Canadian one. Anyway, we're in Canada now. I haven't managed to find any of those maple leaf biscuits yet, but what I did find were these things. Check these out. Le Chaud de Président Caramel Garniture Crémeux, it says on here. Oh, on the other side, it's in English. It says cream-filled salted caramel sandwich cookies. And I can tell you, these are my new favourite biscuits. Absolute winner. If you're a Canadian, check these little puppies out. They are absolutely beautiful. It is my birthday today, believe it or not. So I'm going to enjoy eating that whole box, starting now. So once you set them free, They look like this, and they are absolutely mouth-gasmic. That is good. So, new pecking order for biscuits. My favourite in the whole world are these, which for future reference, cream-filled salted caramel, made by President's Choice in Canada. Second, the faux durable maple leaf what's it ones. Third, I'm afraid, a good old British hobnobs. Chocolate hobnobs. Has to be plain hobnobs though, not milk ones, because they're for girls. Don't have a go at me for that. Just the plain ones are the ones that have a go. But if you're in Canada, try these out. They're blooming gorgeous. Good job Mrs. Vla's not here, I've been in such trouble again.